Our next web API is GraphQL. GraphQL was developed internally in 2012 by Facebook and released to the public in 2015. The biggest advantage of GraphQL is that it enables a very flexible querying, updating, and subscribing to data changes. Now, what it means is that in contrast to REST, that allows you to query an entity and then get the whole entity back, GraphQL allows you to specify exactly which fields you want to get back, and in addition, you can specify what parameters to use in the query itself. So you get a very flexible querying and updating capabilities, and in addition, you have a subscribing capabilities, meaning you can get notifications about updates for the entities that you have retrieved and merge those updates in the entities. GraphQL, similar to REST, is based on JSON in and out. So let's see an example for it. Here is a typical query in GraphQL. As you can see, it begins with query. Then it tells us what kind of entity we want to query for. In this case, posts. And then we can specify which fields we want to retrieve for the posts. In this case, we want to retrieve the ID, title, body, the publishing date, and the author. And in the author, we need to specify which field of the author we want to retrieve. In this case, we want to retrieve the name of the author. So this is how a GraphQL request looks like, and the response looks like this. And you can see that we've got exactly what we asked for. We get only the fields that we asked for, including the name of the author, which is a field stored in a different table in this case. Now, what you need to know about GraphQL is first, it's very flexible, as we just demonstrated, but it requires some upfront dev effort. In contrast to REST, which is extremely easy to implement, GraphQL is not so easy, and there is some development that need to be made in order to make it useful. In addition, GraphQL, performance-wise, is a little bit, let's say, less optimized than REST. So you should look very closely on the performance metrics when using GraphQL. GraphQL is gaining ground all around the world. GitHub, for example, announced a few months ago that they are migrating all their APIs to expose GraphQL instead of REST because they identified that most users want to retrieve only specific fields, and almost no one wanted the whole bunch of fields that was exposed by the REST API of GitHub.